So, part one of the deal has arrived. Welcome back to the free trading game collection, the series where we source deals from Facebook Marketplace, Vinted, car boot sales, retail stores, you name it. We select a portion of said deal, sell it on, flip it if you will, make all our money back, and then whatever's left over we'll take into CEX, get trade credit, and then we build the collection that you see behind me. The Switch, completely free using this method. That boxed PS2, completely free. All those games, which is very difficult to do when you have absolutely no coordination whatsoever. Everything you see behind me, apart from Batman, was built up for free using this method. If you missed any of the episodes so far, go back and check them out, because obviously you'll get caught up on how we managed to get a Switch and all the rest of the games, and you'll understand the ins and outs of it completely. In this episode, we have a fair few deals to pick up, a slightly scary story, and then we'll get to add more games to the collection. So, part one of the deal has arrived. I say part one, technically speaking, this was part one. So, car boot sale. Maybe seeing some sort of footage now. I tell you what, my camera skills, not very good. So I had the camera in my hand, like that sort of thing, moving around. I don't, again, still don't have a mount. I picked this up for a £5. There's no footage of me picking it up for a £5, so you are going to have to trust me. But it is an Xbox 360 controller. It's in good condition. It works. I have tested it with a 360 that we picked up last week, which I still have at this moment in time. It may have sold since then, and if it has, I'll put it on screen for you now. But that is going in here. It is going to go with what is in here. So I kind of give it away. It is an Xbox 360 console. It is the console and the power only. I haven't opened it yet. It has got some really bad sellotape going across it. So let's have a look. Now, this was originally meant to go in last week's sort of, what do we call it? Episode, I guess, because it was meant to go with the entire bundle thing that I got last week. It didn't get sent in time. I thought it had been cancelled, and then out of nowhere it got sent. And this cost me a whopping £13 delivered. I have got no idea if it has a hard drive. I have no idea if it works. So all I was told was, or all the listing said, was console in, good condition or working condition, power lead, and that was it. There was nothing else mentioned. So I can see a power lead, which is good news. It is an official Microsoft lead with the correct power adapter, which is exactly what we want. Obviously, we don't want sort of higgledy-piggledy things here. Unlike last week, that is a proper plug, ladies and gentlemen. It works. It doesn't have wires coming out of it. Banging. Right, I'll have to test that, obviously. And here is the console, which is fantastic. So, seal. Oh, dear. I can't tell. This has come from a cache generator, right? So, as you can see there, it has its own little warranty sticker on it. I don't know whether that's been opened in the past and the original Xbox 360 seal has been broken. I think it might have done. Largely irrelevant, because this isn't going to be traded in. This is actually going to pay for everything that we've bought today. So far we are £13 into this, and we are £5 into this. So for those of you who struggle with maths, that is £18. I had to use a calculator before I started filming, don't worry. Underneath that, though, there is actually a game second-hand sticker. So at some point, this was bought new, then it was traded into game, then it was bought, then it was traded into cash generator, and here we are today, I think. I don't know if that has been opened at some point. It looks like it has, but to be honest, I've got no idea. Hard drive, moment of truth. There is a hard drive. Okay, so you can see there is a hard drive. Let's pull the tab together. What are we saying? Oh, that's a really weird hard drive. 120 gig hard drive in there. It's a very strange hard drive. I've never seen a 120 gig hard drive. it is not, I repeat, it is not a Microsoft hard drive. So it's not official. I think a few people mentioned last week that I said, oh, it's an official drive, as if they make external or second or third party ones. They do, because this is third party, but it does come with 120 gig, and inside looks fine. It doesn't look dodgy or anything. It looks quite clean actually overall. It's just a question now whether this actually works. So I have it powered up right now. It has just come on. We're about to see if there is a mystery disc within this. No, there is not, unfortunately. However, you can see that the person has not wiped the hard drive, which is, I mean, does it really matter? The only reason that would ever matter is if there are games on it, and I could maybe advertise it as games come with it, but at the same time, I'm not a massive fan of doing that. So you don't need to know the ins and outs really, because it's a bit boring, but I'm waiting for the bundle of games that I've ordered from Vinted to come so that I can take them all to trade them in. I'm pretty sure all of them are trade-worthy. The bundle itself was, I think, around £12 to £13, and there's quite a few games there. It should bring in over £40 worth of credit. And of course, the Xbox that you've already seen is going to cover the cost of that, the bundle, the controller that we bought, and something else that I've just picked up. Why am I telling you that I'm waiting for that bundle and I just don't skip to it and show you? Because obviously the power of editing. Well, in my life right now, I'm still waiting for it. So I had to go to town anyway to send a parcel. So I thought I'll have a little look around charity shops. I didn't film any of it. I did take the camera, to be fair, but I was looking, I couldn't really find anything. And then I found something. I found one thing. It was this Fresh Prince box set in cancer research. It was cancer research. So it actually, it's got a CEX sticker underneath it. I didn't realise, but it was £5 in cancer research. I checked all the discs and everything. It is in good condition and complete, and CEX traded in for 11. So I bought it for 5. I was deliberating whether to just stick it on eBay and just sell it and just keep the cash and do that, obviously, like what I normally do. But I thought, let's top up a little bit and let's use this. So I've got to try and do some fast math now. It'll be on screen for you, and I might get it wrong verbally, but it'll be accurate what you see on screen. The Xbox should sell for 50 odd minimum, if not more. So I say if not more, I am pushing for about 50. So after fees, we'll have made all our money back. We'll guaranteed to get between 35 and 40 after fees on that Xbox and the controller and a few of the games that we got from that PS2 bundle, which are still knocking around a little bit. Thinking about it, and bear with me, I do have a game actually, one game left over from that bundle, wrestling. It is SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. That came in that PlayStation bundle that we had. The only thing left from the PlayStation bundle left to sell now is the Steel Tin Mass Effect and the Loose Tiger Wood, which I keep forgetting to lower the price of because I think I might have it up a little bit too high. That trades in for £1.20. I'm just going to take the trade. So that trades in for 11. That's £1.20. So that's £12.20 in credit that we're going to get from CEX. The final deal that I haven't mentioned yet was this PlayStation 4 games bundle. The image that you're seeing is stretched because it was tiny and I couldn't really tell what the hell was going on, but they put this up, 6 games, £15, a little bit of postage on top, like £2 postage. I threw out a cheeky offer of £10. To be honest, I probably should have just bought them, and I took a risk. I offered a tenner, and, much to my surprise, they accepted. So for about £12.70, I think, something like that, we managed to pick this deal up. So let's just go through them very briefly. I have opened the package to see that they're all in there, and I've checked condition. The only one that I'm a little bit concerned about maybe not being traded in is Project Cars 2. Now, I paid £12.79, I think, for everything that you're about to see. Not each game, everything that you're about to see. She had it there for 15 plus postage. I offered 10. They accepted. I don't know why. And yeah, we got them. Banging. So that trades in for 8, hopefully. If it doesn't go into CX, I will take it into game and see how much they give me. But to be honest, game prices, I'll probably get about 3 pence for it. So in the end, we may end up keeping Project Cars 2. I don't know. If it sells, we might just sell it, but we'll see. I didn't factor this in when I first looked at it. This is F1 2019. The reason I didn't factor this in is because I didn't really know what it was, but I couldn't see the game. Like, I could see this, obviously, but I didn't know whether it was just a slipcover, and for some reason they'd just taken a picture of a slipcover. But it does have the game in it. So that trades in for 6, which is pretty good. Next one, another F1 game. This person really liked to race. 2018. Which is the lowest trading game at £4, but still not bad considering I hadn't factored it in. So that's a tenner on top of what I thought I was going to get because I hadn't factored those two in, which is nice. This one surprised me. Gran Turismo Sport trades in for £10. Really, really didn't know that that traded in for a tenner. Before I looked it up, if you'd said how much does that trade in for, I probably would have said £3. But for some reason, it trades in for 10. Obviously, it's not the newest one. It's the last one. It is VR compatible, though, so that would be kind of cool. VR-wise, I am very tempted to get into that sort of space. Not with PlayStation VR just yet, but I am looking at an Oculus. Don't know. I've never even tried it, so it would be cool. Next game, The Golf Club 2019. Again, had you asked me how much that trades in for before I looked it up, I probably would have said £2. Trades in for a £5, so you can't grumble at that. And finally, the one that's worth the most, I'd love to know how much they actually sell this for, and I have clicked it. They sell this game for £18. It trades in for 12. It is Train Sim World. Do I want to try that before I trade it in? Normally I would say it and I would be like, I'm going to go trade them in straight away. So no, I'm not going to trade these in till tomorrow. So there is a very fair chance I will try this. I'm not sure. So theoretically, this, hopefully anyway, will be the last episode that you see with me using this camera in stores. I have bought a very pathetic GoPro, so it should look a little bit more, I guess, natural, because I'll have two hands so I can pick things up. I'm looking at Switch games because, of course, last week or midweek we picked up a Switch. The only issue is, and I think this series is going to hit a bit of a stumbling block with this type of thing, Switch games in CEX are expensive. Now, this Paper Mario game, £28, is actually not a bad price for that game, and is one of the ones that I'd sort of looked at even before I picked up a Switch as to like a game that I would want. But some of the other games, you know, like Sonic Mania, I'd like to pick up. I've seen that for a hell of a lot cheaper on eBay, Vinted, car boot sales and stuff. Yoshi's Crafted World, again, is another one of those games I've seen for like £20-25. They want £35 for it there. And there's just loads of games, Mario games mainly, that I wouldn't mind picking up for the Switch. But CEX charge a lot of money per game. Like, I think Mario Kart is £42. I see that on Vinted all the time for 30, sometimes 25. And yeah, you could pick it up and trade it in, sure. But the whole point of this series is to try and get games for free through CEX. I just don't see me picking up many Switch games. I mean, the prices of some of these, that is £25. I've seen that for a tenner today on Vinted. Aladdin and Lion King is another one that I was looking at. That sells in CEX for like 20, 25. I've just seen it for £10. I didn't buy it. I should have. But in the interest of doing this series, I didn't buy it. PS4 games, on the other hand, there's the Deadpool we traded in last week. On the other hand, PS4 games in general tend to be a lot cheaper in CEX. So those, and maybe some PS5 games, because again, for some reason, they are cheaper in CEX than Switch games are, even though in stores PS5 games are generally quite expensive. But I can see me picking up a lot of PS4 games as opposed to Switch games, even though at the moment I kind of want to pick up more Switch games than anything else. But that Sega Mega Drive collection, as you can see there, is £18. That's £7 cheaper on a console that it would probably run a little bit better on, and maybe, I can't imagine it would look better because, you know, they're 16-bit games. Oh look, legs. Shall we get into the haul? What a day I have had. If you can't tell, I am sweating. I've literally just got back in from, I don't even know what it is. It could be next week's deal, to be honest. I'm going to let it slip. It was a complete and utter fail. It was an intimidation as well. Didn't really get any of it on camera. Might have had the guy shouting, but yeah, it was dodgy, to say the least. I don't know if it will make it into next week's episode because there is no money to be made there, realistically. Anyway, shall I show you what I picked up? I picked up 2 racing games. I've got Gran Turismo. Why have I bought more racing? I don't know. I actually bought a Switch game, finally, and I'll show you the Switch game first. This was actually the most expensive game. Like I said, I got £2.20 left on the voucher. So the first game we picked up was Paper Mario. It is actually Paper Mario, the Origami King. I love the look of this. They had a Yoshi crafted, is it Crafted World there as well? Now on the Wii U, which is there, the little section we got at the end, we have Yoshi's Woolly World. Still yet to pick up a Wii U. We'll talk more about that in a minute. £28 that cost. That's actually look at the size of the case for that. Look at the state of it. I never get over it. But that is a lot to add. Like in terms of value, that is a very cheap Mario game, because nearly all of the Mario games in CEX are around £35-45. There are a couple that I really want that are 35 plus. That Yoshi's Crafted World, I believe it's called, that was 35 quid, and I was tempted to pick up just both of those roughly. Maybe not the Paper Mario, but either way. That's the only Switch game I picked up, so I'm going to be playing that on the Switch for the foreseeable, but that's £28 to add to the collection value. And the next game, I mean, I've owned this game about 20 times, I think we all have, really. Burnout Paradise, but it is remastered. This was £12 on the PS4. I have checked them, they are all in good condition, as you would expect to buy from CEX or a store in general. But I just fancied that last night. I looked at it and I thought, you know what? I love Burnout. I wasn't a massive fan of Burnout Paradise, but I didn't really give it that much of a chance. You know, it was toward the, I don't know, what was it, toward the back end of the achievement period for me? I can't really remember, but I bought it at launch, I remember, and I played it for a bit, and it just didn't feel like a Burnout game. That's one of the reasons why I fancied this, actually. I watched a video last night, and it was comparing map sizes, and Burnout Paradise, to this day, has one of the biggest open world maps that has ever been released. Not the biggest, but one of. It is quite big. It's I think it's like 2 or 3 times the size of GTA 5, which in itself is quite impressive. The last game I picked up was really frustrating because I'm desperate to play this game. Like this is the game I'm going to play as soon as I stop recording. But I wanted the PlayStation 5 version, and annoyingly the PS5 version is only like £2 or £3 more, but they didn't have it, and I can't find a CEX anywhere near me that has it in stock. It is Wreckfest. It's not even a new game, but I've never looked at it before until I saw one in a boot sale. The boot sale I went to last week, I saw someone was selling PS5 Wreckfest, and they wanted like 30 quid for it because they're delusional. And I thought, I looked at it, and obviously I was looking at it before I knew the price, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. So I went home after they crushed my dreams and said 30 quid, and I looked into it. It's basically Destruction Derby remade, and that is one of my favourite games of all time, and there is actually a Destruction Derby mode in it as well. So that looks like a lot of fun. Wanted the PlayStation 5 version, got the PS4 version for now. Will probably end up either trading that back in at some point and then picking up the PS5 version, or just keeping it in the PS4 section and picking up the PS5 version anyway. So we have 55 quid-ish worth of games to add to the collection, which is nice. Our very first Switch game, which really does look good. Now, a lot of people are going to have opinions, and you're entitled to them. Some people will hate this game and think it's a load of trash. Other people will love this game and think it's absolutely fantastic. I quite like the look of certain Mario games, Yoshi games, and Donkey Kong and all the rest of it, but I really am intrigued by the ones that are artsy. Like, I'm not an artsy person, I just bought 2 racing games, although one of them is beautiful in Burnout Paradise. But either way, I really like the Crafted World, the Woolly World, and the paper sort of style of games. So that's why I wanted to pick that up, and that's why it was my first game. I'm actually going to pop that in tonight after I have a bit of Wreckfest. So there we are, £55-ish added to the total. We are building some collection now. Doesn't look that big.
That's what she said!
But the value of that is £230. The value of that is quite substantial as well. And of course, they are slowly but surely growing in value. Next week, I will probably tell you the story of what happened to me literally just this minute. But for now, that's going to do it. I will do a huge update with figures as well, because I want, and I should have kept it from the beginning, but I want to know how much profit we're in in terms of cash. We're not going to use it for anything in this series. I'm never going to go, oh, I went out and bought a console for £150 because we're overall profit £150. I'm not going to do that. We are going to start fresh week on week unless I decide to carry it over. But I would be very interested to know, because I've just sold three things to do with from this collection, from this series. I was very interested to know how much profit I'm in. So in the next episode, there may even be another midweek episode where we just talk figures and we have a look to see what's sold and how much profit we've made, just for the interest of it. And then we'll keep a running total going forward. But if you have enjoyed this episode, do me a favour and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, goodbye.